This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Good evening. I'm Robert Floyd, Southampton Town Moderator. Welcome to the Town Moderator Annual Town Meeting Warrant Information Session. We started this maybe 14-ish years ago. I found a video 14 years ago that was created by Easthampton Media, now E-Media, and I thank them for coordinating everything tonight. Shout out to Tim Riley. And when we had this first session, we had every select board member there, town administrator, staff, department heads, librarian. It was pretty impressive. It morphed into what it is now. When we started, there was discussions, not really debates, but I felt that wasn't fair. Any discussions and debates need to be held on the floor of the town meeting, which, by the way, is Tuesday, May 9th, 7 o'clock at the William A. Norris School, Pomeroy Meadow Road, and we look forward to seeing you there. So tonight I'll be reading the articles for the warrant, and we'll be voting on the motions for these articles come Tuesday. So under general heading, budget and financial items, Article 1, transfer from free cash to the Capital Stabilization Fund. To see if the town will vote to transfer, appropriate $90,209, which will change, and we'll amend that on the floor, to the Capital Stabilization Fund, said sum to be taken from free cash or take any other action relative thereto. Article 2, transfer from free cash to the Operating Stabilization Fund. To see if the town will vote to transfer, appropriate $77,321, and that amount will change. To the Operating Stabilization Fund, said sum to be taken from free cash or take any other action relative thereto. Article 3, transfer from free cash to the OPEB Fund. To see if the town will vote to transfer, appropriate $25,774, and that figure will change and be amended on the floor. To the other post-employment benefits OPEB account, said sum to be taken from free cash or take any other action relative thereto. Article 4, 5-year contract for lease of postage machine for Town Hall. To see if the town will vote to allow the select board to enter in a 5-year contract for postage machine lease for all town departments or take any other action relative thereto. Article 5, transfer from Operation Stabilization for Hampshire Regional Assessment Operating Budget Fiscal 2024. To see if the town will vote to transfer from Operation Stabilization an amount of $350,387 to be used in the operational budget of Budget A for the Hampshire Regional School District assessment for the town of Southampton for fiscal 2024 or take any other action relative thereto. Article 6, annual operating budget for fiscal 2024. To see if the town will vote to fix salaries of all elected officials for the fiscal year 2024 for the period for July 1, 2023 to June 30, 2024, and further to raise and appropriate $19,729,580.47. Monies as identified in the town's annual operating budget from taxation, $17,500 from WPAT loan, $125,000 from ambulance fees, and $350,387 from operational stabilization as attached for fiscal year 2024, identified as base budget A, or take any other action relative thereto. And Article 7 would be the supplemental operating budget, general override article, override budget. to see if the town shall raise and appropriate or transfer from available funds an additional $332,555.29 in real estate and personal property taxes to supplement the appropriation under Article 5 for the operating budget for the purposes of funding the following departments and accounts in the operating budget for the town police department, fire EMS department, and associated employee benefits for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2023, provided, however, that the vote taken hereunder shall be expressly contingent upon approval by the voters of a Proposition 2.5 so-called override question, allowing the town to raise the additional amount appropriated hereunder outside the limits imposed by said Proposition 2.5, all in accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 59, Subchapter 21C, G, or take any other action relative thereto. And what I'm going to do now is break the budget into sections and read the two different amounts for Budget A and Budget B. Under General Government, the figure is $869,379.24, and it's the same for Budget B. Public Safety, for Budget A, is $2,242,437.42. For Budget B, it's $2,443,257.51. Education is $7,074,422.12, and that's the same for Budget B. Hampshire Regional, that's a separate breaking. Public Works comes out to $1,064,411.88, and that's the same for Budget B. Health and Human Services, $168,639.64, and it's the same amount for Budget B. Culture and Recreation, $193,393.13, and it's the same amount for Budget B. Employee Benefits, $2,536,934.42, and Budget B is $2,568,669.62. Debt service principal is $434,543, and it's the same for Budget B. And debt service interest is $135,515.62, and that is the same for Budget B. Article 8, Transfer Station Enterprise Fiscal 2024 Budget. To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate or transfer from available funds $212,833 to operate the transfer station enterprise according to the following budget. Wages, $38,008. Operating expenses, $143,150. Environmental compliance, $11,700. Indirect cost, $19,975 for a total of $212,833. And that $205,775 be raised from transfer station enterprise revenues, $7,058 to be taken from retained earnings, and $19,975 to be appropriated in general fund indirect cost, or take any other action relative thereto. Article 9, Water Enterprise Fiscal 2024 Budget. To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate or transfer from available funds $1,020,610.56 to operate the water enterprise according to the following budget. Salaries and wages, $305,376.24. Operating expenses, $228,635.32. Capital outlay, $35,000. Indirect cost, $157,599. Debt services, $294,000 for a total of $1,020,610.56. And that $923,354.88 be raised from water enterprise revenues, $97,255.68 from retained earnings, and $157,599 be appropriated in general fund indirect cost, or take any other action relative thereto. Article 10. Transfers for Police Department operating fiscal 2023 expenses. To see if the town will vote to transfer an amount totaling $11,000 within the Police Department operating budget accounts as listed below. Amount $3,000 from Ed Incentive Account to Police Overtime Account. Reason, unexpected staff shortages. Amount $3,000 from Ed Incentive Account to Building Expense Account. Reason, unexpected energy cost. Amount $4,000 from Ed Incentive Account to Police Wage Account. Reason, unexpected training cost. Amount $1,000 Communication Expense Account to Police Wage Account. Reason, unexpected training cost. Said sums to come from fiscal 2023 accounts listed above, or take any other action relative thereto. Article 11, transfers from Library Department operating fiscal 2023 expenses. To see if the town will vote to transfer an amount totaling $2,759.20 for the Library Department operating budget accounts as listed below. Amount $398.17 from the Library Maintenance Account to Library Utilities. Reason, unexpected energy cost. Amount $861.03 from Library Wages to Library Utilities. Reason, unexpected energy cost. And $1,500 health insurance to Library Utilities. Reason, unexpected energy costs. Said sum to come from the fiscal 2023 accounts listed above, or to take any other action relative thereto. Article 12, transfers for town-wide and municipal departments operating fiscal 2023 expenses. To see if the town will vote to transfer an amount totaling $4,876.85 for the Administrative Department operating budget accounts as listed below. Amount $1,205.39 from the TH custodial account to the photocopy, lease, and paper. Reason, unexpected time to receive new, less expensive copier. Amount $171.46 from the administrative expenses to the photocopy, lease, and paper. And that is also unexpected time to receive new, less expensive copier. Amount $2,000 from health insurance to town hall gas and electric. Reason, unexpected energy cost. Amount $1,500 from health insurance to town hall expenses. Reason, unexpected repairs. Said sums to come from the fiscal 2023 accounts listed above, or to take any other action relative thereto. Article 13, transfers for workers' compensation operating fiscal 2023 expenses. To see if the town will vote to transfer an amount totaling $6,181.33 within the employee benefits operating budget, workers' compensation, from the health insurance budget account, or to take any other action relative thereto. Article 14, transfers for annual town audit fiscal 2023 expenses. To see if the town will vote to transfer an amount totaling $13,000 to the accounting independent audit budget account from the accounts as listed below. Amount $10,000 from the assistant town accountant wages to the independent audit contract solicitation. Reason unexpected increase. $3,000 amount from health insurance to the independent audit. Same reason. Said sums to come from fiscal 2023 accounts listed above, or to take any other action relative thereto. Article 15, funds for EMS fire departments operating fiscal 2023 expenses. To see if the town will vote to appropriate an amount totaling $32,000 from ambulance receipts reserved for appropriation for the fire EMS department operating budget accounts for fiscal 2023 as listed below. The following amounts for this article will change and be amended at the floor of the town meeting on Tuesday. For now, the amount $250 from EMS certification, reason unexpected certifications. Amount $27,250 from ambulance EMS expense account, reason unexpected increase, cost run increase. Amount $2,500 from fire EMS building expense account, reason increased energy cost. And the amount of $2,000 from ambulance billing, reason increased ambulance runs, or to take any other action relative thereto. Article 16, transfer for required code upgrade to town hall elevator. To see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of $10,000 from the capital stabilization fund to a town hall capital account to fund the necessary code upgrade repairs to the town hall elevator, or take any other action relative thereto. Article 17, transfer for police cruiser pickup truck. To see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of $73,000 from the Capital Stabilization Fund to a police capital account to fund the purchase of a Ford F-150 or equivalent pickup truck to be equipped as a cruiser as a replacement for an existing police cruiser, or take any other action relative thereto. Article 18, transfer for fire EMS department vehicle exhaust extraction equipment. To see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of $30,000 from the Capital Stabilization Fund to a fire EMS capital account to fund the purchase and installation of a vehicle exhaust extraction equipment to be installed at the 204 College Highway Fire EMS Station, or take any other action relative thereto. Article 19, transfer for Norris Elementary School North Wing locker replacement. To see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of $16,672 from the Capital Stabilization Fund to a Norris Elementary capital account to fund the purchase and installation of the replacement of the North Wing lockers, or take any other action relative thereto. Article 20, transfer for town hall sidewalk and step concrete repairs. To see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of $16,750 from the Capital Stabilization Fund to a town hall capital account to fund the replacement and installation of repairs to the town hall concrete main entrance and sidewalk and accessible walkway, or take any other action relative thereto. Article 21, vote to establish a municipal Light Plant, MLP. To see if the town will vote to authorize the Select Board to take all necessary and appropriate action to establish and to maintain, in accordance with the provisions of Chapter 164, Sections 34 and 47C of the General Laws, and in accordance with the rules, regulations, and orders of the Department of Public Utilities and the Department of Telecommunications and Cable, a municipal lighting plant for all purposes allowable under the laws of the Commonwealth, including, without limitation, the operation of a telecommunications system and any related services, or to take any other action relative thereto. Article 22, vote to establish an opioid settlement stabilization account. To see if the town will vote pursuant to the provisions of General Laws, Chapter 40, Subchapter 5B, to create a new special purpose stabilization fund to be known as the Opioid Settlement Stabilization Fund, which may be expended for all of the purposes allowed by law, including those outlined in applicable opioid litigation settlement documents, a document prepared by the Substance Abuse Bureau of the Commonwealth's Office of Health and Human Services Department, found at https://www.mass.gov/doc/abatement-terms/download, entitled Abatement Strategies, and consistent with any state guidelines or regulations further clarifying allowable uses of opioid litigation settlement funds, and further, to adopt the last paragraph of said subchapter 5B and dedicate to such fund, without further appropriation, 100% of the opioid litigation settlement funds received by the town, or take any other action relative thereto. Moving right along. Revolving funds. Article 23, revolving fund spending limits. There'll be three categories: program of purpose, use of funds, and the fiscal 24 spending limits. Conservation, operating expenses, administrative expenses, $10,000. Conservation forestry, oversight and management of the conservation areas, including forestry land, $20,000. Council on Aging van, payment for operation of COA van, $31,000. Dog licensing and control, expenses related to administration of licenses and dog control, $8,000. Electrical inspections, payment for electrical inspection services, $20,000. Fire department brush services, fire chief to purpose brush firefighting equipment, $10,000. Park commission, operating expenses, administrative expenses, $10,000. Planning board, administrative expenses, $10,000. Planning board consultant course, $15,000. Plumbing inspections, payment for plumbing inspection services, $20,000. Tax title related costs, $10,000. Weights and measure fees, $5,000. Zoning Board of Appeals, ZBA expenditures, $5,000. Community preservation projects. Article 24, report of the Community Preservation Committee to see if the town will vote to hear and act pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 44B, on the report of the Community Preservation Committee for the fiscal year 2024 community preservation budget, and to appropriate or reserve from the Community Preservation Fund the following sums of money as recommended by the Community Preservation Committee for committee administration expenses, community preservation projects, and other necessary and proper expenses in the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2024, with each item to be considered as a separate appropriation. Administrative expenses, $7,500. Reserves from fiscal '24, estimated revenues for historic resources reserve, $51,295. From fiscal '24, estimated revenues for community housing reserve, $51,925. From fiscal '24, estimated revenues for Pomeroy Meadow Road land, $53,800. Pomeroy Meadow land purchase is only a memo item and will fulfill the 10% requirement for open space reserve, or take any other action relative thereto. Article 25, CPC funding for footbridge in Manhattan Meadows for Conservation Commission. To see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of $7,000 from the Community Preservation account to the Conservation Commission, said funds to be transferred from Community Preservation surcharge undesignated account for the purpose of the completion of the footbridge over the Manhattan River, a part of Phase 2 of the Manhattan Meadows Trail Project, or take any other action relative thereto. Article 26, CPC funding for grant match for greenway design. To see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of $65,000 from the Community Preservation Surcharges Open Space Recreation account to the Greenway Committee for the purpose of matching grant funds from Mass Trails for Phase 2 of the Greenway bicycle and pedestrian path design, or take any other action relative thereto. Article 27, CPC funding for construction of playground at Labrie Field. To see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of $241,419.36 from the Community Preservation Surcharges Undesignated account to the Park Commission, said funds to be used to construct a fully accessible playground at Labrie Field, or take any other action relative thereto. Naming rights, Article 28, naming of East Street Bridge. To see if the town will vote in accordance with the provisions of the existing town general bylaws, Article 42, to rename the East Street Bridge in memory of John V. Garska and include signage to that effect, or take any other action relative thereto. Article 29, naming of accessible playground at Labrie Field. To see if the town will vote in accordance with the provisions of the existing town general bylaws, Article 42, to name the future accessible playground at Labrie Field Maddie's Magical Playground in memory of 8-year-old Maddie Schmidt. Include any signage to that effect, or take any other action relative thereto. General bylaw amendments, Article 30. This is the fun one to read. Article 30, amendment to general bylaws for renumbering and recaption. To see if the town will vote to renumber and recaption the general bylaws of the town by A, assigning a chapter/article number to each of the general bylaws, B, renumbering each section of each bylaw accordingly, C, inserting chapter, article, section, and subsection titles, and D, updating internal references to reflect the new numbering system. All is set forth in the final draft of the Code of the Town of Southampton dated March 2023 on file with our town clerk, or take any other action relative thereto. Oh no, actually it's 31, that's the long one. Article 31, amendment to general bylaws. To see if the town will vote to adopt the following changes to the general bylaws as set forth in a final draft of the Code of the Town of Southampton dated March 2023 on file with the town clerk, or take any other action relative thereto. General revisions. References to the Massachusetts general laws are standardized to the following format. Mass General Law, C_subchapter symbol_. Throughout the general bylaws, the titles Board of Selectmen and Select Board are amended to Select Board. The titles Tax Collector and Treasurer are amended to Treasurer/Collector, and the title Building Commissioner is amended to Building Commissioner/Inspector. Repeal Article 31, Conservation Commission fees of the general bylaws is repealed. Specific revisions. Chapter 9. Agriculture Commission. Section 9/1 is amended as follows. The Agriculture Commission is established to represent the Southampton Commercial Farming and Agriculture Committee, as well as other farming and forestry activities. Chapter 20, Community Preservation Committee. Section 20-3 is amended as follows. Funds received are to be used in the designated areas, and while, they, are under the supervision of the Community Preservation Committee, may not be spent without a majority vote of a town meeting. Section 20-9 is amended to change Attorney of the Commonwealth to Attorney General of the Commonwealth. Chapter 24, Council on Aging. Section 24-1 is amended to change 2 alternatives to 2 alternates. Chapter 35, Finance. Section 35-3 is amended as follows. The Finance Committee shall consider all articles in any warrant thereafter issued for any town meeting, annual or special, calling for the expenditure and/or transfer of money, shall consider such articles, and report in writing or otherwise to the town meeting its recommendations as deemed to be in the best interest of the town. No appropriation or transfer of money shall be made under the report of a committee or an individual until the matter has been considered and reported by the /financial_finance committee. Section 35-4 is amended as follows. Strike through, it shall also be the duty of the Finance Committee to make an annual report in print of its doings with the recommendations relative to financial matters, period. The Select Board before the annual town meeting shall, at the expense of the town, make available the annual town report for the use of the residents. The annual report will include the report from the Finance Committee of its activities and recommendations made available in print and online, period. Section 35-11, revolving funds established, is amended to change town clerk and dog officer to town clerk and animal control officer in the table for the dog licensing and control program, and to revise the first sentence as follows. Strike through revolving funds as set forth in Article 24 of the warrant for the annual town meeting of May 6, 2017 be hereby established, and further that the limitations on expenditures for each revolving fund be established according to Article 24 of the May 6, 2017 annual town meeting, period. The following revolving funds are hereby established, : Chapter 55, Officers and Employees. Section 55-2 is amended to correct appointed town group at the end of the sections to appointed town group. Chapter 61, Personal Policies and Procedures. Section 61-1 is amended to read as follows. The town's personnel policies and procedures are contained in a manual titled Town of Southampton, Massachusetts, Personnel Policies and Procedures and Wage and Salary Administration Program, which is on file in the office of the town clerk. Chapter 74, Reports. Section 74-1 is amended to change to be printed in the annual report to read, to be included in the annual report. Chapter 93, Town Meeting. Section 93-5 is amended to add the word "for" at the beginning of the sentence. _4, any town meeting article requiring bonding, the moderator shall require a paper ballot vote. Chapter 106, Alcoholic Beverages. Section 106-2 is amended as follows. Any person who violates this bylaw shall be subject to a strike-through fine of $50 for each violation thereof, penalty as provided in Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition. Chapter 112, Animals. Section 112-21 is amended as follows. Any person who violates Subchapter 112-1 and 112-2 of this bylaw is determined by the Southampton Police Department or Animal Control Officer shall be subject to strike-through fines as follows. First offense, $50. Second offense, $100. Third offense, $300. Fourth and subsequent offenses, $500, period. A penalty as provided in Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition, period. Section 112-3G is amended as follows. Any person who violates any of the provisions of Chapter 112-3 of this bylaw is determined by the Southampton Police Department and or of the town's designated animal control officer shall be subject to strike-through fines as follows. First offense, $500. Second and subsequent offenses, $750, period. A penalty as provided in Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition. Section 112-9 is amended as follows. Any person who violates this bylaw is determined by the Southampton Police Department or designated animal control officer shall be subject to strike-through fines as follows. First offense, $50. Second offense, $100. Third and subsequent offenses, $300, period. A penalty is provided in Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition, period. Chapter 123, Building Construction. Section 123-4 is amended to change stretch code to stretch energy code. Section 123-5 is amended to change stretch code to stretch energy code and to change inspector of buildings or building commissioner to building commissioner/inspector. Chapter 144, Farming. Sections 144-4C is amended to read as follows. The town is authorized to enforce Chapter 144-4 under the non-criminal disposition provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Subchapter 21D, and Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition of the general bylaws with the fine amounts as provided in Chapter 203. Chapter 153, Fires and Fire Prevention. Sections 153-1C is amended to change according to the rates established by the Select Board or Town Meeting. See Fee Penalty Schedule 2 according to Chapter 203, Non-Criminal Disposition. Section 153-2 is amended to change penalty shall not exceed $200 per offense to the penalty shall be provided in Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition. Chapter 165, Historical Preservation. Section 165 is amended as follows. If after an inspection, the building commissioner inspector finds that a building subject to this bylaw, strike-through, is found to poses, an immediate threat to public health or safety due to its deteriorated condition, and there is no reasonable alternative to the immediate demolition of the building, then the building and commissioner inspector may issue an emergency demolition permit to the owners of the building. Section 165-6B is amended as follows. Any owner of a building subject to this bylaw that demolished a building without first obtaining a demolition permit in accordance with the provisions of this bylaw shall be subject to a strike-through fine of not more than $300, period, underscore penalty as provided in Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition. Chapter 186, licenses and permits. Sections 186-1 is amended to delete such bylaw as shall provide that from the end of the first paragraph and revise Chapter 186-1A as follows. The treasurer, collector, or other municipal official responsible for records of all municipal taxes, assessments, betterments, and other municipal charges hereafter referred to as a treasurer collector shall annually, underscore, and may periodically, furnish to each department, board, commission, or division hereafter referred to as the licensing authority that issues licenses or permits, including renewals and transfers, a list of any person, corporation, or business enterprise, hereinafter referred to as the party that has neglected or refused to pay any local taxes, fees, assessments, betterments, or other municipal charges, strike through for not less than a 12-month period, and that such party has not filed in good faith a pending application for an abatement of such tax or a pending petition before the Appellate Tax Board. Chapter 193, marijuana. Section 193-1 is amended to change adult uses marijuana retailer establishments to adult use marijuana retailers. Section 193-2B is amended as follows. The fine for violation of this bylaw shall be strike-through $300 for each offense, underscore, as provided in Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition. Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition. Section 203-2 is amended as follows. Without intending to limit the generality of the foregoing, it is the intention of this bylaw that the following strike-through bylaws and, period, regulations are to be included within the scope of this bylaw. That the specific penalties as listed here shall apply in such cases that in addition to police officers who shall in all cases be considered enforcing persons for the purpose of this bylaw, the municipal personnel listed for each strike-through section underscore regulation, if any, shall also be enforcing persons for such strike-through section underscore regulation, and that each day of which any violation exists shall be deemed to be a separate offense. Section 203-3C is amended to revise the first sentence to read as follows. Any person notified to appear before the clerk of the district court as herein provided may, either personally or through a duly authorized agent, appear and make payment of the fine stipulated to the district court clerk or mailed to the Southampton town clerk, together with the notice, such sum of money as the town may fix for the penalty for violation of the bylaw, rule or regulation, according to subchapter 203/3F. Section 203/3F is amended to replace the table of fines with the following. Ed, I'm going to need a tag team here pretty soon.
Okay.
Cheers. There's 3 columns: violation, enforcement, fine. I'll read them that way. Violation, enforcement, fine. Alcohol on public grounds, section 106-2, police department, $50 per offense. Dog kennels, section 112-3G, animal control officers, police department, $500 first offense, $750 second and subsequent offenses. Dogs, section 112-21, police department, $50 first offense, $100 second offense, $300 third offense, $500 fourth and subsequent offenses. Humane Care Animals, Section 112-9, Animal Control Officer, Animal Inspector, $50 first offense, $100 second offense, $300 third and subsequent offenses. Fire lanes, parking, Sections 153-1C, Police Department, Fire Chief or Designate, $50 per offense plus towing charges. Fire hydrants, tampering and unauthorized taking of water, Sections 153-2, Fire Chief or Designate, Water Superintendent, $200 per offense. You can start. Thank you.
Illicit connection discharge, Section 224-9D, Highway Superintendent or Authorized Designee, $50 first offense, $100 second offense, $300 third and subsequent offenses. Littering and dumping materials on public ways, Section 230-12, Police Department, $300 per offense plus costs incurred by town to clean up the violation. Marijuana, Section 193-2B, Police Department, $300 per offense. Numbering buildings, Section 127-4C, Building Commissioner Inspector, $100 per offense. Overnight parking, Section 230-3, Police Department, $50 per violation plus towing charges. Preservation of historical buildings, Section 165-6B, Building Commissioner Inspector, Historical Commission, $300 per day. Right to farm disclosure notification, Section 144-4C, Select Board or Authorized Designee, $300 per offense. Sidewalk clearing, Section 230-4, Police Department, Highway Department, $20 per day. Soliciting and canvassing, failure to apply for permit, Section 219-13A, Police Department, $100 first offense, $200 second offense, $300 third and subsequent offenses. Soliciting and canvassing, failure to display permit, Section 219-13C, Police Department, $100 person per day, $100 company per day. Stormwater management, Section 227-6D, Planning Board or Designee, $100 first offense, $200 second offense, $300 third and subsequent offenses. Swimming pools, Section 234-4, Building Commissioner Inspector, $50 per day. Unregistered motor vehicle, Section 248-5, Building Commissioner Inspector, $25 per day per vehicle. Water use, Section 259-9, Water Superintendent, $0 first offense, $25 second offense, $50 third and subsequent offenses. Waste management recycling, Section 255-8A, Highway Department, Health Department, $25 first offense, $50 second offense, permit suspension for remainder of fiscal year, third offense. Wetlands, Section 264-12C, Conservation Commission, $300 per offense. Chapter 219, Soliciting and Canvassing. Section 219-4D is amended as follows. Fees for this strike-through license, underline permit, shall be consistent with the fees required pursuant to Section 219-5C. Section 219-6C is amended to change the name of the licensee's organization to the name of the permittee's organization. Section 219-6D is amended as follows. The chief of police or designee shall retain a record of all strike-through licenses, underlying permits, for soliciting and canvassing that have been issued for a period of 1 year after date of issue. Section 219-13A is amended as follows. Violations of the terms, conditions, and restrictions of this bylaw, exclusive of the fine regarding the display of permit identification, see Section 219-5B, issued pursuant to the same may result in a fine, strike-through, as follows. First offense, $100. Second offense, $200. Third and any subsequent offense is $300, as set forth in Chapter 203, Non-Criminal Disposition. Section 219-13C is amended as follows. Failure to prominently wear display the provided permit may result in a strike-through violation, underline fine, strike-through of up to $100 per individual, and strike-through up to $100 per underline there, respective, and then primary employing entity per violation, strike-through per day, underline as set forth in Chapter 203, Non-Criminal Disposition. Chapter 224, Storm Drain System. The definition of illegal discharge in Section 224-2 is amended as follows. Any direct or indirect non-stormwater discharge to the municipal storm drain system, except as specifically exempted in Section 224-6D, strike-through or permitted pursuant to Section 8 of this bylaw. Section 224-9D is amended as follows. As an alternative to criminal prosecution or civil action, the town of Southampton may elect to utilize the non-criminal disposition procedure set forth in MGL, Chapter 40, Section 21D. Strike-through, the highway department shall be the enforcing person. The penalty for the first violation shall be $50. The penalty for the second violation shall be $100. The penalty for the third and subsequent violation shall be $300. Underline, the enforcing person and penalty shall be as provided in Chapter 203, Non-Criminal Disposition. Each day or part thereof that such violation occurs or continues shall constitute a separate offense. Section 224-11 is amended as follows. Residential property owners shall have 120 days from the effective date of this bylaw to comply with its provisions. Strike-through provided good cause is shown for the failure to comply with the bylaw during that period. Chapter 227, Stormwater Management and Erosion and Sediment Control. The definition of best management practices in Section 227-2 is amended as follows. BMPs are described in the Massachusetts Stormwater Handbook, strike-through described, underline defined below. The definition of forest cutting plan in Section 227-2 is amended to correct the reference to MGL Chapter 132, subsection 40 to 46A, to MGL Chapter 132, sections 40 to 46. Section 227-5E is amended as follows. The planning board may establish a permit review fee schedule based on the type of complexity of projects and may update this fee underline schedule as needed to cover the costs of permit administration for stormwater management permits. Section 227-6D is amended to read as follows. Excuse me. The town of Southampton may elect to utilize the non-criminal disposition procedure set forth in Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition of the general bylaws. The planning board or its designee shall be the enforcing entity, and the penalty shall be as provided in Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition. Each day or part thereof that such violation occurs or continues shall constitute a separate offense.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Tag team match. I thank Ed Gibson, our town administrator, for that relief. Continuing, Chapter 230, Streets, Sidewalks, and Public Areas. Section 230-3 is amended as follows. Any person who violates this bylaw shall be strike-through liable to a $50 fine for each violation, or an amount according to rates set by the Select Board at town meeting. Underline, subject to a penalty as provided in Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition. Section 230-4 is amended as follows. If said property is not cleared, fines will be assessed according to strike through the rate set by the Select Board at town meeting, see fee penalty schedule, underscore, Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition, period. When removing snow and ice, consideration must be given or not worsening the problem for adjacent property owners. Underline, if snow or ice cannot be wholly removed from the sidewalk, the property owner shall sprinkle thereon sand, ashes, sawdust, or other suitable substance so that such sidewalk shall not be slippery and shall be safe and convenient for public use, period. Section 230-13 is amended as follows. No such repairs shall commence unless and until a cash deposit equal to the estimated cost of such repairs strike-through are determined by the town of Southampton to do the work is paid over to the town of Southampton. Section 230-14 is amended to update the reference to Department of Public Works of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to Massachusetts Department of Transportation. Chapter 234, Swimming Pools. Section 234-4 is amended as follows. A person who violates this bylaw shall be liable to a penalty strike-through not to exceed $5 for each day of violation. Underline, as provided in Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition. Chapter 248, vehicles unregistered. Section 248-1 is amended to add the word by. The keeping of more than one unregistered motor vehicle assembled or disassembled except underlined by a person licensed under Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Subchapter 59, or any premise shall not be permitted unless said motor vehicles are stored within an enclosed building. Section 248-5 is amended as follows. Whoever violates any provision of this bylaw shall be liable to a penalty strike-through of $10 per day of violation. Underline, as provided in Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition, commencing 10 days following the date and receipt of written notice from the strike-through Select Board. Underline, enforcing authority. Chapter 255, Waste Management. Sections 255-1 and 255-2 were amended to change sanitary landfill to transfer station. The definition of recyclable materials in Section 255-5 is amended to revise the first paragraph to read as follows. Means a material that has the potential to be recycled and which is pre-sorted. Such material shall include, but not limited to, containers, films, and wraps made from metal, glass, plastic, or paper, and newspaper, office paper, cardboard, and other grades of paper. Recyclable materials does not include, Section 255-6 is amended to change this applies at the beginning of the section to this bylaw applies. Chapter 259, Water. Section 259-4 is amended as follows. Public notice of state of water supply, underlined supply, conservation shall be given under Section 259-6 of this bylaw before it may be enforced. Section 259-9 is amended to read as follows. Any person violating this bylaw shall be liable to the town in amounts and as provided in Chapter 203, non-criminal disposition. The penalty shall be paid to the Southampton Water Department Enterprise Fund for such use as the Board of Water Commissioners may direct. A warning shall be given to the first violation. Each day a violation shall constitute a separate offense. On the fourth violation, the Water Department may throttle the offending water service to reduce flow of water to the water consumer until accommodation is reached. Chapter 264, Wetlands Protection. Section 264-4B1 is amended as follows. Any activity proposed or undertaken within 100 feet of a resource area, underline which, shall be referred to as a buffer zone, strike through, and shall be subject to regulation under this bylaw. Section 264-20 is amended to change chairman to chair. That's some bylaw. Zoning bylaw changes. Article 32, amend zoning bylaw. Amendments of zoning map bylaw section 3-B by amending the map. To see if the town will vote to amend the Southampton zoning map ZBL section 3-B by changing the zoning designation of a parcel of land consisting of 14.7 plus or minus acres and located at the southwest corner of College Highway and Valley Road, also identified on Assessors Map 39, parcel 26, and is shown on a plan provided by Heritage Surveys, Inc. Proposed zone change area industrial park 1.P to Commercial Highway C-H, map 39, parcel 26, Eugene R. Labrie, College Highway and Valley Road, Southampton, Mass., from the present zoning designation of Industrial Park I-P to Commercial Highway C-H, or take any other action relative thereto. Zoning bylaw amendments. Article 33. Repeal and replace the existing zoning bylaws amended by the Planning Board and the revisions edited by the General Code Corporation for Chapter 275. To see if the town will vote to adopt the renumbering and revision of the zoning bylaw of the town as set forth in the final draft of the zoning bylaw dated March 2023. Said renumbering and revision of the zoning bylaw having been done under the direction of the Planning Board and being a compilation and comprehensive update of the present zoning bylaw, including amendments thereto. All zoning bylaws as amended heretofore in force shall be repealed, except that such repeals do not affect any suit or proceeding pending as a result of an existing law, or what it will do in relation thereto. And that, my folks, are the articles for Tuesday's annual town meeting, May 9th, 7 o'clock, William E. Norris School, Palmery Meadow Road. See everybody there, get early, register, sit down, get comfortable. Looking forward. Thank you.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.